Now I'm back, I think.
All right, now I got you, man.
Yeppy.
All right.
How you doing, Adrian?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. This was kind of a last minute thing, but I love that you're always up for it, man.
I'm always up for stuff.
Always.
Always. Always,
Yeah.
always, always. How
No,
you
same
doing?
way, same way. Good, good. So yeah, a little context for that. Me and Dor were talking last night, what about like maybe 10 hours ago? And
Yeah.
I was asking, hey, do you do anything on the weekend? It seems a little more dead, AMAs and such. And he's like, hey, well, let's do something. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do it. And here we are. And I think it's perfect because there's a lot going on, you know,
Oh,
right
yeah.
now for
There's a
everyone.
shit ton going on, but maybe we should wait a couple of minutes until more
Yeah,
people start joining up. And meanwhile, we
definitely.
can talk about random stuff so nobody misses anything important,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely,
So,
definitely.
how was your week? How's everything?
My week was my week was busy. My week was definitely busy. I felt a little cold coming on, but I think I just like, when you're busy and there's just like no time for that. I kind of
No
just
time for being busy
no,
for a cold or what?
no time for a cold, dude. I just I felt it and then I was like, you know what? Suck it up and then kept on grinding and I think I worked through it. So
Oh yeah,
that
that's
was
good.
that was
You know,
that was good, dude. Mind over matter, I guess,
I
man.
wanted to say something, but that would sound out as like a really as a joke in bad taste. So I'm not gonna do
my
that.
my
Uh,
favorite kind of joke.
I mean, you know, how can I say that? I love black humor, right? Now, Adam
Oh
is
yeah,
over here as
definitely,
well, and Adam can confirm that I love black humor, like the worst
definitely,
type of jokes. But now, because we are in a
absolutely.
social and
Yes.
it's Twitter, right? Twitter is supposed to be a
Hmm.
politically correct atmosphere, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna be refraining from saying things that might jeopardize the success
Yeah.
of Mock or Kadena or
Yes.
anything,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
can say
We don't
things
want
that
Mock
will
getting
basically
canceled.
crash the price of Twitter. No, Twitter will be canceled, right? So I'm not going
Twitter
to
will be
say
canceled.
anything that I cannot say, right?
Yeah.
And
Have you
let me, what?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, I
I'm
was gonna
saying,
say,
go ahead, say something.
go ahead. No, I'm way off topic, dude. I'm way off topic. I was just thinking about something else at the same time. So go ahead, man.
Oh, so yeah, so I was about to say that I'm just going to be sending the link so more people can join us and more people can
Awesome.
have fun, see us venting about our week and how fun everything is lately. And
Yeah,
so we sent the
definitely.
Cadenians, and I'm
Hmm.
gonna send the Cadena Project Network as well. I'm not gonna send in the official Telegram group because I'm always scared of sending stuff in the official group. Right? Eventually, they
Hmm.
will ban me or something.
For sure. Yeah, with that humor you got going on, man.
Oh no, just
But no,
sending links and stuff. Right? It's dangerous. They'll think I'm a bot or
yeah,
something.
no, absolutely. You
So,
know,
what were you
I
gonna say that was completely off the record?
completely. I was gonna ask if you'd seen the Twitter Studio option. I just ran into it like yesterday. And I'm pretty new. Like I've been on Twitter before, but not until the Docushield product project did I really like
Uh
get
huh.
into Twitter. So I didn't know there was like live streaming on Twitter outside of like Twitter Spaces. Have you tried that out yet?
There is?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, go.
I did not know what that is. Yeah, I still don't,
Yeah,
to be honest. You, from the
it's
moment we
called Twitter
released Mock,
Studio.
it took me like a month to understand how hashtags work.
Right,
Okay, so
doing all this crazy stuff, but yeah, yeah. But I
no,
completely feel
just
you, just
in
completely
general, I
overlooked.
really hate social media and I don't really how to
Uh-huh.
work around with social media.
Yeah.
So you said, where am I supposed to go? You said
So at the
studios. So,
bottom, yeah, I don't have my laptop in front of me because I had to do this thing on a phone, and
uh
I'm
huh.
literally right now. I got my girl and my kid outside, my son outside, and so I'm in a closet right now. I'm in our closet doing this with no computer, just my phone.
Okay.
So I can't look
Y-
up
y-
much, but I know at the bottom, if you click where there's like more options underneath, like profile settings, all that stuff, it'll come up as an option. It'll say Twitter Studio, and I was like, "What is this?" Clicked on it, and then yeah,
oh,
there's
that
options
sounds
for live
nice.
streaming. and all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, it might be something because we were looking for a live stream platform, outside of YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and maybe we'll try it out. And it looks like I looked up tutorials and stuff, and it looks like this was something that maybe dropped a couple years ago and didn't really take off, but it's still an option. So I mean, maybe it's something we can bring back, because I really
We
like the
can
live streaming idea,
potentially
man.
try, but I'm gonna need you to guide me on that.
Yeah.
Speaking about you talking from the closet, we have our chief right now. He's chief hack dev because we onboarded a few more
Uh-huh.
devs. And Mike, Mike is brilliant as a developer, as a
Mhm.
coder. Wow, I
Uh-huh.
have not seen anything like that. Right, the criticism
Uh-huh.
that he has on code, that's beautiful. But Mike
Yeah.
lacks a few social skills. I'm going to give you an example. Right now, we can have a meeting, right? And I can
Hmm.
tell Mike, listen, Mike, this is a very, very important meeting. I want you to come, sharp, right? Come
Hmm.
organized, ready for a proper meeting, right?
Right.
The meeting starts. He's 5 minutes late. Suddenly, I see him like with connecting with his camera on, right? And he's walking outside on the street, right? Or like once
Nice.
he joined a Zoom meeting from his car, and he was saying, "Hey, my wife and kids are inside. I cannot."
It's a real
And I'm like,
problem.
and I'm texting him, "What the hell are you doing? Do you even understand who we're meeting with right now?" Holy cow! But he's amazing, and we
smoking
love him.
smoking a cigarette and walking down the street on a
No, Mike
business
doesn't
mean.
smoke.
I love
Mike
it.
doesn't
No,
smoke.
I'm just
I'm
trying to
the
paint
only
a better
one in the
picture.
team that actually
Uh-huh.
smokes, and I smoke for everybody, right? For everybody. I
One of the
smoke enough
one of the
cigarettes to cover an entire team. Um, so, I think we are enough people, and I think we get started. How
Okay.
about we give a
Cool.
few shout outs and maybe invite a few more people to join us? I mean, we got Don from CatX, and we got Little Wagme. I know I would love to be talking with Little Wagme as well.
Definitely, definitely. If he's interested too, maybe we can give him the controls to speak. I would love to hear more about where they're at and what they're doing. So, little Wagme, if you are in a position to talk, go ahead and put a request in, man. I love the idea and would love to hear a little more if you are free. But yeah, man, I'll send out a few more invites too right here on my end, and we'll get the ball rolling.
Awesome. I'm just gonna say that Little Wagme is one of my favorite projects right now on Kadena. Even though I really don't like NFTs, I do like Little Wagme. Not only that,
Mhm.
the founder of Little Wagme had a birthday recently, and he's now finally taking some time off work to be focusing all of his efforts on Little Wagme. How amazing is that?
Awesome. No, that's great, and you have to really be at a good position to, do that. It's tough. Not everybody finds themselves, able to take the full amount of time that it takes to really launch a successful project. So if you can do it, man, definitely do it.
Either you are in a good position to do that, or you have enough confidence and conviction in the things that you want to do that you say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it either way," right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
speaking
definitely.
about interesting stuff, Don is now the director of communications for CatX, also, which is also awesome. Muzzle tov, Don!
Great.
Congratulations.
That's awesome. Yeah, Little Wagme did it. He's
Hey,
on. We got him right
yeah,
there. How's it going?
Hey, man,
I'm,
how you
I'm
doing?
I'm finally here. Yeah, good. Thank you, yourself.
Good, good, good. Glad you could come on in a moment's notice. Thanks a lot.
No, no problem.
Cool.
You'll probably hear one of my little wagmans in the background, but yeah, I'm
That's
free to talk.
awesome.
Amazing. So, welcome aboard. And we got Don joining us. How awesome is this?
Yeah, no, this is great, man. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
Little Wagme, as far as
Hello,
oh,
Craig. I'm the player.
No,
there we
How
are.
sorry. Yeah,
adorable is
that's
that?
my anger.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I
Mine
love
will.
kids.
Naughty
I
boy.
really don't
No,
like
they're not
kids.
naughty.
Yes, I am. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. She heard your voice. She
Yeah.
knew. She knew.
You're
Hey,
naughty.
come on. No, I'm talking now, so you're gonna have to listen.
In this space, I mean, leading up to hearing about what Little Wagman's going, I know we had some cool announcements that are really going to be a big game changer for NFTs, the Cairo Digital
Yeah, sure.
announcement, and then the Transact. So just being able to, what it looks like soon is have the you can create an NFT store, check out and do that.
That's adorable hearing you trying to talk about
Yeah,
the
it's
new
adorable. I know.
upgrades,
I can't even
right?
talk
While
because
the
he's in the
little
back.
wagme is in the background.
Yeah. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to see if my other half can just take him for a few minutes. Just bear with me.
No, no worries, man. Do your thing.
Just so you guys understand, at this position, I would be like yeet and throw the child across the room.
That's yeah.
You
You
think
better.
I'm kidding? I do not kid
I,
about these
I am
things.
considering it. Go on.
Do it, do it. I dare you.
And
No, I don't. Right? I cannot condone violence against children publicly.
and welcome, Dawn. Again, thanks for joining us too. We're excited to see what's going to be next
There we
with
go.
everything. And really, that new liquidity algorithm you guys have, the permanent loss avoider, we'll say, for lack of a better word. Is there anything you can kind of tell us right now about that, or is that still something that you're going to be releasing in the future as far as details go?
First of all, thanks for having me on, you guys.
Thank you
I
for
just
joining us.
did want to clarify a little bit, though. I'm going to be making the shift over to director of community. We have somebody else that's in charge of communications.
Is that not the same thing?
Well, I mean, not really, kind of. I mean, sort of.
Oh,
There's a lot of overlap, but I mean, it's.
I really thought that was the same thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. As far as the impermanent loss mitigation goes, I got to be honest with you, I'm still really like digging into that article. Like I've read it through like twice, and I'm still in the middle of going through it again. There's like a whole lot to absorb there. But basically, honestly, I'm not going to be able to tell you anything more than what that article does. I'm not even
No,
going to try.
I mean, it sounds amazing, and then the math behind it. I wish I understood. I'm looking at these equations, and I'm just like,
Oh my God, I know.
something to me.
It's definitely some wizard level stuff for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. As somebody who does not understand math, but definitely understands impermanent loss, I can honestly say that's one of the best things the guys at CADX could have done for us ever.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah. I cannot wait
Actually,
to try that.
I got a question for Don.
Okay.
How does it feel having the weight of the entire Kadena ecosystem on your shoulders?
Boy, it's definitely something. I gotta say, it's definitely something. And we all really do take it pretty seriously. I know, it seems like there's like a lot of clowning and so forth. I mean, I got the Joker right there in the parentheses and next to my name, so I'm not trying to fool anybody, but that said, I mean, there's things that are meant to be taken seriously, and those are serious things. So,
oh yeah,
but you can still have fun and have a sense of humor. Like one of my greatest mentors in my life so far once said something to the effect of, the sense of humor is really important. If you ever lose your sense of humor, like life just isn't funny anymore. And
that's true.
There's definitely nothing funny about that. So,
you sound pretty American, man. Are you from the States over here, or?
Yeah, I'm definitely American.
Same. Guilty. You East Coast, West Coast? Just curious.
Yeah, I've been all over. I'm originally from the New England region, but
cool.
I've lived in I did a lot of bouncing around. There was a period in my childhood where Dad's work kind of took us in a lot of different places, and then both of my parents are all in New England, so that's always kind of like, no matter what happens, that's always like sort of the base point that you end up touching back to. You know, it's the same for all of us in life, I think, at some point. So then throughout, you know, schooling and everything brought me out more to the West Coast, and I spent a lot of time out there and got involved in a lot of things in the late 80s and early 90s, the IT and all the start of the web, and was around a lot of people doing a lot of crazy things. And, you know, now I find myself back in a similar sort of environment where I'm immersed in a place where I don't really know a lot of people very well, but everybody around me is working on things that really nobody has ever done before. You know, and it's all really like it's exciting stuff, man. It's where I like to be.
Definitely. So yeah, you were able to really absorb all of Web 2. Look, myself as well. I know we have a lot of people that are on the younger side, you know, but we really got to see, you know, Web 2 rollout. And like, you know, you remember that movie You've Got Mail, it's on, and you know, it was really the dawn of Web 2, and now here we are again, you know, at this exciting point where it's the dawn of, you know, Web 3. And do you see the similarities like in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I mean, there's things that are similar, but it's all different. You know, everything is constantly changing and mutating, but it's like math again. You know, when you get to a certain point with mathematics, it's like everything is always based on the thing you were doing before as like sort of a like foundational point that you can kind of like work from and go off into a new area, you know. And that's what I really see it as being like, you know, going way back to just when it was like message boards on the well and stuff like that. And now is just like, I mean, even that jump to like Facebook was like kind of like, holy cow, you know. And then from that to what's going on now, it's just like, geez, you know,
Yeah.
let's just change how the whole planet does everything now, guys. Really, like let's do that. Like all of us, let's do it.
And it's fun.
V-Bullet's in the, you know, the forums and stuff, and that was all huge for a good while. It was fun, man, you know, just having these little different communities that you really had to you had to search for, you know, and really dig in to find, kind of like Kadena though too. I mean, you really got to know what you're looking for kind of to find yourself over here on the Kadena side.
Yep. For sure.
All right, man. How's WAGMI doing over there? You in a quiet space, or should we?
No. I'm in a quiet space right now, so I'm free to talk.
Perfect, man.
There we go.
So how about you introduce yourself and give us a bit more details about WAGMI? I really want to know more about WAGMI.
Yeah, sure. So if you're not aware, my name's Fernando. I live in the UK, which is a bit of a combination with, say, a Spanish name and living in the UK. Long story short, I've got 5 children and absolutely adore reading to my children and being a really fun dad. And yeah, I'm creating this project on the back end of, you know, my experience as a parent, and I'm quite tech savvy as well. I've been in, say, the tech industry for about 20 years, and I took a deep dive into crypto or blockchain back in 2015, and yeah, started my journey then. And again, long story short, is as things have progressed, I've, you know, come up with an idea whereby, you know, creating this digital book, which I thought was something new, different, and yeah, just do something that I felt was creative, but also an educational, you know, piece of content which, you know, we could share with children. And so yeah, I've just started this journey, and I've got quite a way to go yet to get to where I want to get to. But what the vision is you know, I think with the metaverse and NFTs, you know, we're really going to be expanding on this in the near future, and I also believe that there'll come a point where we'll be able to, say, immerse ourselves within, say, stories and create, say, different endings, new beginnings, and really change, say, the depths of creativity through NFTs. And that's what I love about NFTs is we're seeing a new generation of creativity. And so, yeah, and I just want to, push this little Wagme project to a point where, I'm able to go to different schools, nurseries, read this book to them, and educate people. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's going to be more documentation coming out, over the next 2 to 3 weeks with regards to, say, a plan as to what I'm doing, a more in-depth plan, and pretty much going from there.
Yeah, yeah, that's something I really like. My sister just finished writing her first children's book as well, and it's called Baby
Yeah.
Doom. This musician MF Doom who had passed away. It's cool, just like those Baby Elvis books. I don't know if you've seen, but
Is that a
putting like
book about death for kids?
No, no.
You
say
said
about that.
Baby Doom or Baby Boom?
Yeah, oh, Baby Doom. Yeah, it's after this artist named MF Doom from the States. He was like a
Okay.
slash for but yeah,
Well,
no, I love the whole base of just the children's book, and then when you bring in the metaverse, like the metaverse for kids, it's something that I never really even thought of. We're so consumed about the metaverse and what that means to us and the future, but that's definitely be a huge part of it. What's offered to children.
Yeah, absolutely. And NFTs shouldn't sort of necessarily be exclusive to adults. And I think that in the near future things will progress quite rapidly with NFTs and where it's going. That children will also be part of this. And I want to take, or I want this to be an educational based, say, book, but fun at the same time. And I'm creating this digital book whereby it's going to be interactive, and you'll be able to listen to me read to your child or read it to them, and just make it engaging, basically. And I mean, I love it. I love the way I've written it so far as well. And when I received like this inspiration to write this book back in November, I just fell in love with the way I wrote the book, and doing the voiceovers, and it's just awesome. So I
that sounds
honestly can't wait.
incredible.
Yeah.
Fernando, I really want to ask you, what is the best book you ever read in your life? I know it has nothing to do with Kadena, but I really love books and I want to know.
Well, there's quite a few, but I think my all-time favorite is The Alchemist.
Oh
I
man,
look
that
well.
100% mine too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. I've
So
Can we all agree that after The Alchemist, everything he wrote basically was terrible? After The Alchemist?
it's,
I agree. But yeah, that's definitely
Speaking of children books, I love The Little Prince. I think I read The Little Prince maybe 20 times. And what I love most about it is that every single time you read it, it somehow takes a different meaning for you, depending on where you are in life. And that's awesome.
sure.
That's fun.
Yeah, I agree. So that's pretty much where I'm at the moment. So this month, the website will be fully launched, and like I mentioned earlier, I'll be releasing some more documentation. Hopefully, that should be ready by mid next week. And like you previously mentioned, I am taking 6 months off work in order to fully focus on this and just make it all happen. And I'm just looking forward to where this will all go. And I've already got 12 nurseries already that have accepted my proposal, whereby I'll be showcasing the book and I'll be reading it to the classes. So I'm really looking forward to that as well.
That's awesome. That's incredible. And obviously, we'll support you every step of the way. Anything you need from us, just let us know, and we will be more than happy to help out.
Honestly, thank you ever so much.
I had a quick question. I know I hadn't really seen. I don't know if you released any pages of the book yet on your Twitter. I hadn't I hadn't seen, but maybe you had. I didn't know if with the WAG all that stuff. If you were trying to introduce kids to the concept of blockchain and crypto, or if that was just a fun name to use for the book.
Well, this is it. So the name of the first book's called The Wicked Whale, and it does correlate with crypto as well. And I have got a picture of me being quite silly, whereby I'm like, basically it's the front cover of my book, and you'll see like the picture of the whale. In fact, it's my cover photo as well. So it is aimed at children, but adults can also read it and see the humor within that, whereby it does correlate with crypto. And as you know, or as we all know, whales are the ones that accumulate most of the wealth within crypto, or possess most of the wealth, should we say. So yeah, it's going to be a book where it is aimed at children, but adults can read it and probably have a little laugh as well.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't even see that relation. That's really clever. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I just love the way I've written the first part of the book so far, and I'm really looking forward to people's responses to it as well. And I'm going to try and reach out to as many people that do write books, and famous people that write books, and I don't know. I'm just going to push this with everything I personally have. At the moment, it's just myself and my kids are involved with this book, and say with the illustrations and where the story's going. And I always use my kids in a sense to bench test it in a sense, because I know that if they like it, then you know, then I'm on to something. And it's even like today. I met up with a friend of mine, and I showed the characters to his children, and they all really liked it. And I thought, I'm onto something here, so I'm just going to keep on pushing it and fulfilling what I feel like I need to do.
Yeah.
In addition, I don't know if that was your intention or not, but you seem like an amazing dad. I mean, you got 5 kids and everything, but I imagine
Yeah.
myself as a dad. I will never imagine myself read a book to a child. I cannot imagine myself, but I do love crypto. And suddenly, if I find a kid's book that's actually called The Little Wagme or The Rude Rug Puller or something like that,
Yeah.
wow, there's a very good chance that I will actually buy that book and I will have fun reading it to my child, because it means as much to me as much as it means to him, just in different ways.
Sure. Yeah. And I mean, I don't know of any other blockchain that has minted a digital children's book either. So I think it's something that's going to be quite new to this space as well, which I'm also quite excited about.
Definitely.
So I don't know if anybody else knows of any digital book being minted on any other chain, or if there has been one created. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it's going to be quite exciting when this all happens.
Yeah.
I think that I agree with you, but for additional reasons. Adrian, what were you going to say?
I was just gonna say it would be amazing to have like a publishing house on Kadena for children's books. Like that would be something that
Oh, heck yeah.
I don't know if there's been books, minted on the blockchain. Not, I couldn't tell you, but definitely I've never seen children's books, and I've definitely never seen, a whole, publishing house that focuses around that. And with the Marmalade coming out, being able to have a marketplace, and I mean, it seems like things would just fall together pretty nicely,
Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty awesome if there was like a publishing platform for authors. And I was speaking to Docushield, Adrian, in fact, with regards to, an awesome feature that I think should be developed that surrounds, say, digital books or PDFs and things like that, whereby, I mean, at the moment, with PDF documents, anybody can open a document unless it's encrypted, and you say have the password to decrypt it. But it would be pretty awesome if you can unlock a book or a PDF document, or say an ebook via your wallet, and
Oh, yeah.
or create like a plugin that can say render a document on a basis where you've got to use your wallet to unlock it. So it's a lot more, say, secure. But yeah, NFTs as a whole is a massive, massive game changer with, say, digital content. And I don't mean to say that in a cliche type of way, but it's really good times for creators, I think, especially moving on in the near future.
Definitely. And can we all agree how surprising it is that something like a kid's book actually shows so much maturity when it comes to something like NFTs? Because so far, everything we knew about NFTs was extremely limited, but now we see such amazing growth when it comes to NFTs, the utility of NFTs, and basically simplifying NFTs and onboarding them to everybody, including kids. That just shows that this market is massively maturing in a very, very good way.
Absolutely. Mm.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that
yeah,
would be amazing, you know, to certain books or even certain levels of the metaverse or whatever, you know, going to be the next level, you know?
yeah. And what I particularly like about what I'm creating is I really want to inspire and help children to become more creative as well. And this is where, say, NFTs have really changed everything, you know, for me. Um, I see that people will become more creative through this technology as well. And why not, you know, also empower our children? So um, this is the real reason why I'm behind or creating this, because I really believe that something like this, like I said in one of my posts, I mean, at the moment it's a tiny little acorn, but it will grow into a mighty oak tree, and I'll continue pushing it until I get to where I feel that, you know, it should be or it will go.
It's going to be one of those things that, I mean, you can just keep working on and keep working on and expanding upon. And like, it feels like it's going to be one of those ever growing things that is never going to be done, you know, like there's always going to be work and new things, especially when
Yeah,
talking about expanding into a metaverse, you know, and, you know, possibly publishing other books and having a marketplace. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's amazing, man. And there's so
it's
many,
an
so
endless
many
thing. Yeah,
things.
I mean, just talking about this gave me the idea of actually expanding mock and adding like a library area within exclusive books, right?
Yeah.
Actually, Fernando,
right.
maybe we can talk about
Yeah,
that in the future because that's one of the goals that we want to have. Not
yeah,
specifically books, but like expanding to so many different areas.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I've got to say as well, and again, it's something else I've mentioned in one of my tweets. You know, out of all the different chains I've not been involved in, but seen or, you know, been part of, the Kadena community, I think, is probably the best community that I've come across. I mean, I've just felt very welcomed with open arms to the whole community, and I really appreciate that. Um, in comparison to other chains. So I just want to say I appreciate all of you and thank you for all being kind.
Definitely.
You're more than welcome, and thank you for building on Kadena. That means the world to us.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed too. You know, just to piggyback on that, it's just how welcoming everybody in the ecosystem is and open to new ideas and supportive. You don't find that anywhere, man. You really don't. It's that small town feel on you know, in our little communities. So it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Okay, guys, I'm going to have to make a move and get back to being a dad. But thank you again, and reach out to me if you've got any questions, and you'll see more progress this month, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fernando.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye bye.
FYI, my Krav Maga's instructor was named Fernando.
Ooh, Krav Maga, man. Yeah, you can play there.
Well, not anymore. Right now,
No,
I'm lazy and overweight and tired and exhausted. Huh.
yeah. You're welcome to the developer life now. Right? You're
Oh, yeah.
you sound Yep.
It's a fun life to have to an extent. Anyway, we didn't really have an introduction regarding the goal of this space, other than having fun, right? So, Adrian, would you like to talk about what it is that we would like to be talking today?
Yeah, man. Definitely. So I really just wanted to have more of an open platform. This is perfect, for people to come and discuss, projects, what's going on, any news or big moves in the Kadena ecosystem, and not anything shilly. We do AMAs and stuff all the time, and we're trying to really push, our projects because, of course, that's where our heart is. But at the same time, there's so much going on that we don't want to ignore and we want to be a part of. And so I thought this would be a good way to bring it to light. And I mean, of course, Dor was right on, right up. You were right about it, man. That's what I love about you. Your attitude, just like, all right, let's do it. So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of sleep lately, and
Yeah.
there's always time. There's always time. It doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter how busy you are developing. You always have time to communicate with your community and be transparent about those things, right? There's just no other way about it. You always got to be there for your investors. Even if, we mock and you Docushield, we haven't even raised yet, okay? We still have that responsibility to be transparent about everything. But once we do raise, that's when things completely change and we are so bloody accountable that you don't have any other way. But it is important to establish that mentality as soon as possible of, yeah, it doesn't matter what happens, we always take time to talk, to communicate, and all of that. So what did we have this week? What was interesting this week?
Well, we had our webinar this week, in Docushield, which was something we were really excited about doing, introducing the whole team, laying out, exactly what our vision is, and having the timeline for that, and then also, presenting our investor dashboard. I'm not going to go too much into it because again, this space isn't really to talk about us, but to talk about the community. But in our Twitter feed, there is a recording of our webinar, so anybody who wants to check it out later can go in and check it out. But besides that, man, this week has been just really us buckling down on the nodes and getting the different tiers kind of laid out and how we're going to approach each one, what the role is going to be for the lower level tiers with the super low barrier for entrance, and we're trying to make a no barrier, really just anybody who wants to contribute can use the resources on their existing machine to kind of help us out. So I know one big complaint with Filecoin was just the requirements to even start up with them. Is ridiculous. You have to have it's so much storage and RAM and really be running a huge supercomputer to even be getting any rewards, which are meager, So I love what Tempe's doing, as far as you can just get their software and become a collector like immediately, and not really, it doesn't matter what kind of machine you have, to a certain point, you can contribute. And so I love the idea behind that. And so getting just revving up for nodes, and then on the back end, with the devs, it's testing out different environments for security measurements stuff, is what this week has been. And I know there was a holiday for our a few of our developers, so we got pushed back a couple days, but no big deal. That was kind of planned for, anyway. But yeah,
Awesome.
that's what's going on in our world. Just I've been deep diving into our node infrastructure. Our guys on the back are just really into the security measures right now and the environments and containers, stuff like that.
Epic.
What's going on?
Talking about nodes. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was curious to know. Yeah, what you guys have been working on over at Mock.
At Mock.
But,
I'll answer you about that in a second, just before I lose my train of thought. Flux, you mentioned nodes. We cannot talk about nodes without mentioning Flux. Flux had an amazing community event today where they gave like this beautiful summary of where Flux is right now. Over 12,000 nodes, right?
Wow,
that's incredible. 12,000 nodes. Wow. And in addition, I do want to mention to everybody who is right now in this space talking that in addition, Dan had a chat with Rob, was the founder of the Flux Army, and they were talking about Flux Argentina and how they're doing some community bootstrapping event to try and donate funds. And Mock, all of us have already pledged to donate. And if anybody has the ability or the position to also donate, I know it's a bear market. I know money is tough, right? But if anybody has the ability of actually contributing, do definitely consider doing so. It definitely helps when it comes to karma, right? Being able to help others every now and then. Now, regarding Mock, wow, we had one heck of a week. We're making some HR changes in preparation for the IDO, and mainly because things are getting significantly more serious than what they were 6 months ago, right? It's no longer a hobby, it's a business, and it's managed like a business. So we're making some HR changes to make sure that everybody in the team was going to be going with us the distance is on the team, and those who are not will basically be bought out. And we recruited a new chief operations officer, an amazing lady named Dahlia, who is absolutely incredible. And I'm so happy that we have her right now because finally some of the pressure is going to be removed from my shoulders. And Adrian, I think you understand what I mean when I'm talking about shoulders, right?
Yeah.
And when people talk about managing a project, we can talk about all the incredible work that you got to do, marketing, development, strategy, and all of that. But ultimately, managing something revolves around organization. If you cannot organize yourself and your surroundings and your team and your roadmap and every single thing you have planned out, you're probably going to fail. So, yeah, for us, definitely organization is incredibly important. What else? Oh, I'm happy because about an hour ago, Mike, our pack dev, chief pack dev, sent me a message saying that he completed our lending contract and he's right now going to go towards testing. And I'm happy because that contract was perhaps one of the most difficult concepts we have established when we decided to be building Mock. And for us to be able to already complete that contract, you know, as the second contract we completed, we got a roadmap when it comes to those things. And the first contract we wanted to complete was the staking contract. That's already ready with auto compounding. Auto compounding is important because nobody has the time to go and manually compound every single time. And next, we were supposed to be working on the NFT contracts because after our IDO, the first target is doing the initial NFT mint, right? At least one of the rounds of the NFT mint. But we became so engrossed. Is that a word? I think that's a word. Within the lending contract, that we just couldn't focus on anything else. And in case anybody's wondering, this is not how can I say this? This is not a regular token lending borrowing contract. This is an NFT lending contract, but an enforced NFT lending contract in which when the contract expires, the NFT automatically and immediately comes back to you. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy. I'm excited. I'm exhausted. I really want to sleep. But other than that, everything is awesome. Everything is looking out to be extremely good, right? So that's it for Mock.
Yeah. And quick question about the lending, man. You know, it's something in crypto that's definitely always had, you know, my interest. Is it similar at all to like Aave and what they do, except on an NFT front, maybe, or
Absolutely
how is
not.
that?
When we talk about lending and lending infrastructure, we're basically talking about, okay, how do we enforce right now that an individual that is borrowing money will repay the money? And how do we do that? How do we enforce that? Simply put, we do not enforce it. We don't. We just say, okay, you want to borrow $50,000? You got to have 100,000, right? Over collateralized loans. That's what we got right now. which is okay. It's fun, but it's pretty much missing the point because a guy that has $100,000 doesn't need $50,000, right, to spend. But that's something else entirely. I mean, I love Anchor Protocol. It's one of the most used DeFi projects for me specifically. When I met Anchor Protocol, I honestly fell in love. But no, NFT lending in this specific case, it's something significantly different. Significantly. It is a lot of code and being able to micromanage certain types of elements when it comes to enforcing it. But in this case, our job infrastructure that's called Marmalade, right? So Marmalade is giving us everything we need almost, right, to make that happen. So yeah, I'm happy.
The self-collateralization is amazing, man. Yeah, that's something that, in regular DeFi, I've definitely used. And, if you do have, let's say, $10,000 worth of, Bitcoin or whatever, and you want to jump some crazy project, put that up as collateral, pull out $5,000, and now, you just pay that back with a small APR, but you still get to go crazy on this other project. And worst case scenario, you lose all your money. Once you pay back that 5K, you get your 10K back. Like, it's really cool. And if Bitcoin was to take a huge mooning phase, take on a huge mooning phase, then you wouldn't, it'd be easier to pay that off. And
but ultimately that's leverage, right? That's leverage,
right?
When we do actually manage to get to a proper system of under collateralized loans that do not work in crypto via a type of centralized authority, that is when I'm gonna actually be happy. Significantly so.
We gotta, yeah. Very cool, man. That's exciting. Yeah, that's actually really, really exciting. I know that's going to be a crazy contract too. So, congratulations to your development, man. That is awesome.
Thank you. And now let's move on to interesting things, right? What's interesting? Kitty Cat, the first NFT project fully sold out on Kadena. Congratulations to Kitty Cat.
Did you? I got a few. I probably got about 10.
I think I got about 100 something somewhere.
Damn. Nice.
No, I'll tell you why. Because we initially bought them to give out to our community members after the mooning phase. I just got to remember which wallet I used. And Babena. I also bought in the Babena pre-sale as well.
Wow. Yeah, when I first heard of Kadena, I had no idea what it was or who created it. You didn't get into it when the APR was really high, just because I was like, whoa, like there's nothing else, and all of a sudden I'm seeing this. And I wasn't as involved definitely in the Kadena community back then, as I am now. So yeah, missed the train on Babena and the whole beginning of that, but yeah, the kitty cat thing, man, I got super excited for and went in right away. And I think it's just one of those things that it's breaking ground for everybody. What they're
it's like
doing,
showing everybody, hey guys, it's possible. Come on and do so as well. And I love how the second that the mint is sold out, the first thing he does is goes on Twitter, says, okay guys, mint is sold out. Then he goes to Telegram and says, hey guys, if anybody needs help deploying their NFT contract, just hit me up. I'm free. Right?
Awesome. Yeah. And yeah, we've hit him. We've definitely contacted him before, running into walls and stuff, and amazing, always helpful, always willing to lend a hand. So yeah, I'm really glad to see that project just kind of take off. It's awesome. And I think there's gonna be a lot to follow. Hopefully Galena is gonna be launching. I'm not sure if they put out all their Gen Zero yet, but I know I got a few chickens too that I really want to play with and look at. So looking.
How did you name your chickens?
just dumb.
How did you name them? Let's see who won.
I name my chickens after musicians. It's and like obscure, musicians.
Okay, so I minted 2 chickens.
Uh,
The first one is Stuart McChicken, and the second is Will McNugget.
Little McNugget, little McNugget. That's adorable, dude. That's soft, man. I think this is all show. You're a softie.
I'm what?
You're a softie. That's a good name,
No, I'm not.
dude.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm not, Mr. No, but that's awesome. Yeah, and that platform amazed me too when I first got on it. All the graphics, everything in there is done by one person, by Squeegee. That's I mean, it's a big project when you look at everything behind it, and the crossbreeding and all of the different elements behind each chicken. I mean, you just think that it was done pretty much single-handedly, for the most part, is amazing, and just shows the dedication behind these projects.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of dedication, Don can confirm that CADX just came out with an article a day or two ago. I really suck at times, but it seems like June, July, we're finally gonna have a taste of CADX.
Woo-hoo. Awesome.
Tasty taste, yes.
That's gonna be a yum yum experience for all of us.
Yeah, well, the guys in the kitchen have been really working hard, cooking up a storm for quite a while now. So, we're really trying to push out that like top level cuisine for all of you guys to get all degen on in a very safe manner.
Speaking of
Um,
safe, I feel like this subject doesn't get noticed enough for some reason, but audits are fucking important, right?
oh,
Mhm.
dude,
Audits are
Yeah.
important.
talk
Sometimes
about
I
it.
feel like, right, especially within a new blockchain, right, you always want to make sure that things are safe, right? I can tell you guys honestly, as I'm leading a almost 15-member team, developing a really complex project, I can tell you that when we actually release, I doubt if I will actually manage to sleep at night because I will be so scared. So I'm going to do every single thing in my power to secure myself and my sleep by actually going the distance by auditing myself, because it doesn't matter how good I think my pack devs are, audits are important. You can always miss something. So I do want to say an absolute hallelujah and thank you for CADX for not settling on that, even though the entire community is rushing and saying when, right?
Right.
Just, some things cannot be
Well, I mean,
settled
and
on.
that's an understandable standpoint, though, too. I mean, it honestly is at least from my perspective. You know, and again, I'm like probably one of the newest members of the team overall. I probably, well, maybe not the newest, but like I was definitely, within that last tranche of new people to get brought onto the team, aside from like maybe just a couple of devs. But uh, you know, I just
Yeah.
think that I can understand that it's been like a year, and like uh, I can understand it. I can remember at other points in time with just other types of projects that maybe I wasn't even like invested in any way, shape, or form, but was just like looking forward to the release of, like, in a
Mhm.
really major way. And then for one reason or other, it got bumped back. And it was just like, it sucks. It's disappointing, you know? And all of that is completely valid emotional, like, behavior, like
Mhm.
100%,
Emotional,
you know?
yes, but not
Um,
rational.
well, emotions aren't necessarily rational, man. I mean,
Can
you
we
know,
all agree that
we
emotions
got to be
have
honest
no
here.
business in finance?
Well, I mean, to some degree, I would have to say, yeah. I mean, it's not so much that they don't have a place, but it's just, you got to be able to really have a really solid control over them. Otherwise, I mean, and it's not even just finance. Like, in my life experience, I have found that, like, it's way better to be able to act instead of react. And to be able to act, it takes thought, it takes time to process what's happening, and then a choice has to be made, which, takes a little thinking. So otherwise, if everything is a knee-jerk reaction, then it's real easy for life to just sort of like, start bouncing you around like a pinball, like literally, and it's not a very fun way to exist. So,
True.
I choose to not go that route.
Yeah.
One other thing I did want to mention, though, just really fast, is that all of this, especially like, congratulations on the completion of that contract, bro. Like,
Thank
seriously.
you.
Oh my God. It's massive. It really is. And the reason why I'm saying that and why I get excited whenever I hear about anybody in this ecosystem, like completing something, it's like, it might all seem right now like it's all like, okay, people are just doing like finance stuff. And then there's like these NFTs and it's art, but it's still kind of finance, and everything sort of really just looks like that's about all there is to this,
Mhm.
right? But here's the thing: these contracts, this computer program stuff that's happening, that's making it all work. Like I was saying the other day, there's the possibilities and the applications are literally limitless. And I just want to mention real fast that like it made me think of a tweet I saw like last year sometime. This guy was talking about this AI program that was developed in Japan around like 2007 or something. It started and then was completed around like 2010. But it was basically for this Japanese bakery to be able to identify like people could shop, and just like over there they don't really like prepackaged foods, just
Mhm.
like a really quick primer, right? And so everything has to be like fresh and just kind of out in the open. And so it's not really sanitary for somebody, like if it's just like a free for all, and a bakery carries like 200 different types of pastry and bread, and people can just go and like fill up a bag of all random different items, and then they bring it and have to get it like checked out, and it's like a logistical nightmare. So the store owners like paid a real lot of money to a developer to come up with an AI system that would literally like be able to scan a bag of different items and identify each different one, weigh them, and charge the person, all while like the cashier is basically just there to make small talk and like provide
That's so
any extra
awesome.
customer service, right? So it really helps streamline their whole business. Now, like fast forward a few years, and somebody else realized that like there wasn't a whole lot of difference between the way like cellular structure is on a microscopic level to like weird random bread and pastry
Mhm.
shapes. So he decided to like try to apply this software to like identifying cancerous cells, and he was able to do it, and like thousands of lives have been saved already just in a few years using that same exact technology. I mean, it's really really crazy that like something that was made to just identify pastry
But
uh,
but it's even more than that.
can be like
It,
identifying
it,
cancerous cells, right? I mean, you don't ever know. So all you guys out there that are grinding hard, writing these codes, just remember that it might seem like you're just making some like, one little singular thing with one singular purpose right now, but you don't know how it could get applied to something else in the future. So,
true. But it also does
all
connect to what you said
programmers have my
before.
respect.
It also connects to what it is that you said before about CADX being in development for a single year already, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
We're on Kadena. We got packed, right? It's not like we can just
Yeah.
go and copy paste something. Whenever
No, we can't. And honestly, that has
and
problems, as we all know.
it has a lot of problems, things that people don't necessarily understand. Like, first of all, that's why an ecosystem's growth is exponential. Because initially, the development is slow because you have nothing ready. But once the initial stuff are ready, then everybody can just copy paste, fork a few things, and instead of spending a month writing a contract, you spend a day making a bit of adjustments to that contract and deploy it on a different guys. right? But this is also where
growth will scale.
but this is also where the first movers that are building those contracts have so much responsibility on them, because they should know, if they don't know already, that once their contract is done, everybody will copy paste their code, right? So if your initial code has a bug or potential exploit, then Pact obviously is a very, very safe language, but exploits can still happen, right? If you do not consider those, and if you do not do everything possible to take care of the security matter, right? Everybody that will fork your code will have the same bit of exploit. And it doesn't matter if you patch it a month later, if during that month a dozen people fork your code.
Right. Yeah, no, it is a concern for sure.
We see it happen all the time on EVM contracts, they find one exploit and then everybody who forked it gets hit next, and it's just a wave, so it's scary, man. And who's audit Pact codes right now? Like, there's only so many people who even know how to write it, who, I mean, really finding the resources to give a proper audit is even, I can imagine, tiresome, man,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, they're just about done with basically like with the code review phase of it. And now it's just, they're just trying to beat the shit out of it, really, like,
totally.
And then, a bunch of us are also have been hard at work, like, as well. So, and then, slowly more and more people are going to be able to actually start maybe potentially earning like a really, really, really considerable bounty for finding any bugs if they can.
Now you're saying that almost like a bit of a joke, Don. But yesterday morning,
no, it's not a joke.
Yesterday morning, I had a conversation of an hour and a half with our Pact devs, and I told them, guys, listen, soon we're gonna have several dexes up on Kadena. When that happens, we drop every single thing that we're doing, and we have one responsibility, and that is to hack the shit out of both of them. Right?
Yeah.
And we will do so happily. Yeah. I mean, I do sincerely hope we will not find anything, but we will do, let's say, the proper due diligence and peer review that we got to rely on our partners and all of us to be doing that.
Right. No, I agree 100%. I mean, if you want to really call yourself a community, then, it really truly takes a village, and we should all be looking out for each other. And, that doesn't mean all of us have to work together on the same team, on the same projects, but overall, there should just be like an overall general sense of like, we're a big extended family at a very minimum here,
Oh yeah.
It's like a little village here, it's that small town vibe, like you were saying. And, personally, I don't really have a problem with any of my neighbors, man. I'm like always been the type of person to try to just get along with everybody. I think it's like,
I hate my neighbors.
I was raised to believe that, it's always, it's not impressive to like harm somebody or something or hurt someone. Sure. It's easy. Anybody can do it without even trying. That's easy. It doesn't impress me. If you want to impress me, like, help somebody, do something good. That impresses me.
Oh yeah,
that's what's so impressive about Kadena. About the community here. Everybody's helping, and we can't wait to beat the shit out of your guys' code as well. And I mean, I hope everybody comes and
we look forward to it.
Destroy our code as well. I mean, that's one of our big points I try to make, just to go, on there, is we want to welcome everybody to, before we go to a place where we're onboarding, the non-crypto people and, the rest of the world. I mean, please, like, guys being our friends, come try and break our shit. Like, let us know where the vulnerabilities are, things we've overlooked, because we're all human, and we, there may be mistakes, but we want to try and find those and fix them as diligently as possible, and that takes really looking at it from 1,000 different angles.
Yeah, no, it really does. And you know, that's the thing. Like, if we're friends, then I want to be able to feel like I can rely on you to say, hey, you know, here's this thing, and it could be dangerous for everybody. So, you
Yeah.
know, like, and Cadex is definitely, like I said, man, and this is not any kind of clowning at all. Like, we're willing to make it very worth somebody's while. I mean, like, quite lucrative, even for a bug bounty program.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Definitely.
that's how serious we take this. You know, it's not just been a serious length of time. You know.
Yeah, no, same thing. Yeah, bug bounty is going to be huge. We're excited to run that, and yeah, I mean, you hope it gets broken because then you could learn something. If not, then you're like wondering,
Well, you know,
and we're going to find the first flaw as well. You know,
yeah,
if
for me,
inevitable, that's why updates happen.
yeah, it's like, it's not so much that I hope something is found,
Right.
so much so as that I hope that if something is found, that it's like, you know, somebody actually wants the bounty. That's all. You know.
No, for sure.
That's really the main concern. But I'm fairly confident, you know, just in general, like Pact itself, already you're looking at something that's like a million times more secure than Solidity. So, you know, a lot of extra care, as far as I know, is being taken with like ETH bridges and things like that, where, you know, that's just like, I mean, in my mind, like being more of a newcomer to everything and just knowing how vulnerable Ethereum is, you know, bridging it over to Pact is just almost like that's just, in my mind, that's just like an automatic liability, personally.
True.
Personally. You know, so these kinds of things are things that our devs have thought long and hard about. Believe me, it's not anything that's going to get past anybody, as far as I know. You know, but again, I can't speak for the entire team. I only have very limited knowledge of all the dev workings until they come and say, hey man, check this out. And I'm just like, oh my God, can I tell anybody? And they're like, not yet. You know, that's been like a big chunk of my life so far. I got to admit.
Oh yeah, for
Then
sure.
being the community guy, want to get people excited. I'm sure when something excites you, you know. So yeah, tough secrets, man.
You know, I wish I could drop some more alpha tidbits, but you know, there's going to be more info coming, and you know, as you can see, when things get pointed out that they're being handled in the wrong way, like, corrections get made, you know. Right. And that's what's also important, is that corrections get made. Like, human beings are going to make mistakes, you know, and it's what happens after the mistake happens,
100%,
and how it gets corrected. That's really the important thing, more than the mistake itself. If the mistake wasn't malicious, then, you know, otherwise, then, you know, when it comes to malice, that's a whole different story. It's a whole different karmic imprint, everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, intention is everything. So, you know, that's it. I'm going to stop babbling now, because it's not, you know, I'm just here hanging
It's
out.
pretty much legit. Like, in this business, we live from one mistake to another, basically putting out fires every single second. And that is ultimately part of the grind, right? Else it wouldn't be crypto.
I mean, in my lifetime, the way it's gone, you know, aside from, you know, a good chunk of feeling like it's fly by the seat of your pants Productions Incorporated, has been, you know, the biggest points in time where I have like learned the largest lessons that have been the most profound for me in becoming like the person that I am, have been through like some really major fuck ups.
Absolutely. Yep.
Really major ones, like. So, you know,
software and personal life, right? I mean, I think that kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, no, that's, no, completely. You know, and it's just like, it, after a while, it's just, what it boils down to is, it's like, you know, if you're a real person, you have to get honest with yourself at some point, and then that's where the change happens. You know, it's like, if you can be honest with yourself and say, hey, I fucked up. Now what do I do? You know, it didn't turn out the way I intended it to turn out. Maybe it turned out the exact opposite way. So now maybe if I do the exact opposite thing, I'll get the desired result I wanted, or whatever the case may be. Like the guy who taught me how to juggle told me that I had to learn how to make a mistake first before I could learn how to not. And so that kind of stuck with me. It made me sort of like not beat myself up so bad if I ever did make a mistake. And that's important too. Everybody's got feelings.
I don't.
He doesn't legs.
Feelings are unnecessary, but I can't say that there is one mistake I've done a year and a half ago and it still haunts me to this day, and I think it will haunt me through the rest of my life. And it's funny because we're talking about mistakes, and that's like the first thing that popped into my mind. A year and a half ago, I don't know what happened. I don't know what brought me to that situation. I was probably drunk, but I received a file from work that I had to open, and I needed to unzip it. And I can't believe I'm saying this publicly. I should be completely ashamed, but I trust you guys, so I'm gonna tell you guys either way. I bought WinRAR. I paid for it. I paid for that.
That's the biggest fuck up. Yeah,
man.
And
have I bought WinRAR?
I remember after putting in my credit card and seeing the receipt, it's like I was almost like frozen in place. And the monkey that what you call it, the monkey that the drummer monkey, right? That's how it felt in my mind.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, what did I just do? Why did I do that? Why? So yeah, that was the worst mistake of my life that still haunts me to this day. Now, I think maybe we should stop talking about our mistakes, unless, Adrian, you want to share a mistake you've made or something like that. We've already been at this for an hour and 10 minutes. Maybe we should open up the floor for some questions if anybody wants to ask something.
Yeah, please. I buy every junk software that comes out, dude, just because I love seeing what different softwares do and how the UI is and the UX. And yeah, so I'm like, have I bought WinRAR? I probably have in my life. We got.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
I
know I am.
On many levels. Sure, the auto renew subscription is probably still there. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to check my credit card statements because of you.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anybody on the line, and this is a perfect opportunity, to ask any questions. We got the new community manager from CADEX here as well. We got a request coming in from Mahines. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on. And if you want to go ahead and try testing, can you speak? There we go.
Hi, I was just wondering, the NFT standard Marmalade, does that build in a lot of new features for like expirable contracts, or is that custom?
It does not inherently allow for expirable contracts. It is something that we had to specifically create ourselves. Now, it's not accurate to call it an expirable contract. It is a contract that creates an action at a certain time. So at a certain time, which is dictated, the command is to send the NFT back to X. And once we are fully done with testing the code and being completely sure that it is proper and safe and all solid and is community reviewed or peer reviewed and maybe hopefully audited, we will open source that code together with every single other thing we will do. But Marmalade is awesome. An amazing standard because it allows you, it gives you an amazing infrastructure for stuff, but more than that, it allows you to build even better infrastructure on top of what already exists. But it's amazing.
That's legit. Thanks.
You're more than welcome.
Awesome. Okay. Floor is still open to anybody else that may want to ask a question. And all right, cool. Well, I'm gonna get ready to watch some boxing tonight. Oh, we got another one coming in. Pretty boy Floyd talking about boxing. All right, and let's go ahead and you can take the floor. It looks like you're a speaker now.
I really don't understand boxing. Like, why do people do that?
God,
What?
we're gonna take this off air, man. And it's oh, yeah, go ahead, Floyd.
When do we see the other blockchains being tested and your projects and everybody else's actually being tempered and coming to the fore?
Yeah, we as far as Docushield's concerned, we are going to put out our MVP within the next 3 weeks, maybe 4. But we're pretty much ready to go with our first edition and minimum viable product. So that'll be very soon. And when it comes to Docushield, but our project's pretty straightforward. On what we do and how things are going to operate. So I can't speak for miners who have probably dozens more contracts than we will behind ours with our first release. So yeah, as far as having something that's going to be available and open that you can play around with Docushield, that'll be within the next month, for sure, if not sooner, like 3 weeks, the 3-week mark.
And did I miss the conversation previous? Where are we up with CADEX being released?
So, as far as what our CEO had released in his weekly update a few days ago, which you can find on Medium, we're looking at pretty much like June, July, pretty solidly here. So
Soon.
Cool. Yeah, that's what we need, the deck.
Oh yeah, an amazing deck and decks. And regarding mock, we got about 30-something contracts to write. So far, we are finished 2. Thankfully, those 2 contracts are perhaps the most complicated contracts we had to sort out. But there's still a lot of work left, both in artistic and also because, we won't be able to improvise in this code. A lot of the code, we're going to have to be the first ones to write it. I'm saying conservatively, our MVP is going to launch Q3, towards the middle of Q3. But taking into account audit, that might be pushed towards Q4 because that's not something we'll settle on. But the good thing about mock specifically is that it's not like we release a protocol and that's it. Our actual goal is to create an expanding system with its own revenue stream that we can just continue building and building and building and always adding more features. Like we already have 4 expansions planned out, and that will take us 2.5 years. So yeah, but the MVP will definitely come out this year.
Beautiful.
And the last question is, when do we actually see a media team putting this to the public more? Do you know what I mean? Rather than being the people that know about it.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to probably start seeing a little more action in that area relatively in a fairly short time, I would say. So that's about as much alpha as I can slay right now, you guys, on that. But
yeah, to kind of take it on our front, we're gonna get through our MVP, our bug bounty, hackathon, all that stuff's gonna be kind of within our community, and maybe we're stretching out next to other blockchains to look for help on testing and all that. First, we're gonna be going over the engaging with a few people there. But at the end of the year is really when we're planning on taking our initiative from just within the crypto community to more of like a global scale. That's going to be after our second raise, which will be in Q3. So we're going through our first IDO this month, and then after that, we're just going to try, like we were saying earlier, talking about just beat the hell out of it and learn whatever we can before we bring it to a global global mass, and then from there, it's just going to be building on top of the core, which of Docushield, which is the personal cloud feature or functionality, and we're just going to expand upon that further and further, and developing the enterprise solution. But we're really waiting to and looking for the feedback from our community here before we introduce it to the global masses, just to make sure we've worked out everything we possibly could, and we're relying on a lot of the community for their feedback and helping us do so.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Awesome. All right. We got another question in, so that was great. Anybody else wants to ask a question, go ahead, but I think we are pretty much ready to wrap it up, right?
You really want to go see the game, don't you?
It's a while. I gotta buy chicken to barbecue. I haven't spent time with with my friends and family for a while, so it's gonna be nice to all bond over watching some people beat the hell out of each other.
Both of them are unnecessary.
And there we have it, y'all. All right, man. Unless there's any other questions that are unanswered, thanks, the little WAGME team, the CanX team for coming and talking a little bit about the next door. You're always, I was talking to you, man.
Love you too, Adrian.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
All right,
guys,
man.
thanks for having me. It's definitely been a pleasure. A lot of fun.
Likewise,
for
Don.
sure. Good hang.
Right.
Good hang.
And hopefully next week, right, Dora? We'll do this again.
Why next week? Let's do it tomorrow.
I know I can never say no either. Let's no, I'm gonna be too hungover tomorrow. It's gonna be my one day.
Amazing. We have something important
Yeah,
going on, something very important going on. I just don't remember what. Oh, yeah, that is important. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. And have an amazing day or a night.
All right. Thank you. Everybody have a good one.
Likewise. Cheers. Bye-bye.